As a psychic angel messenger and angelic spirit channeler, I do talk to angels all day. And this YouTube video is about my investigation on the Salvation Army. I'm recently divorced and I'm really poor. And I had to go to St. Anthony's a while ago. And while I was there, they gave me a piece of paper with a list of things to do. And one of the things on the piece of paper was to go to the Salvation Army and sign up for their job program. So I went to the Salvation Army, and the man working there said they don't have a job program. And he told me I could fill out a job application. I filled out a job application, and he gave me a number to call. And when I called the number, the woman that answered the phone said the Salvation Army doesn't have a job program. All their workers are volunteers. And this is actually the piece of paper the man at the Salvation Army gave me. And that's the number he wrote down for me to call. And if you noticed at the bottom of the piece of paper, it says Claim Center 1. So I don't know if the Salvation Army is ripping everybody off. I just went to the grocery store with my grandmother before Christmas, and she was supposed to wait in the car while I went in to do my shopping, and then I was going to call her on my cell phone, and she was going to drive up to the doors and pick me up. So I went in to do my grocery shopping. After I paid with my new food stamp card, I took out my cell phone to called her, and she said she was in the store. She decided to go in and get dog food. So I waited inside the grocery store where the grocery carts are, and the Salvation Army guy was inside with his red bucket, and people were putting money into the bucket. So I was sitting there, I was watching all the people put money in, and every time somebody came in, people were putting money in. I seen some woman put cash in. I think almost everybody put cash in. People are putting money into the red bucket to help homeless people out. I used to donate all my old stuff to the Salvation Army, and my grandmother donates all her stuff to the Salvation Army. I know tons of people that donate things to the Salvation Army. And I know the red bucket is supposed to help homeless people out. That they stand there all winter during Christmas ringing their bell. People feel real sorry for them. These are real good, kind people. They're ringing the bell. They really care about homeless people. And everybody feels sorry for them. They think that those are the only people that care about homeless people. And they think, oh, I better put some money into this bucket. These people ringing the bell actually care about homeless people, and they're wasting their time ringing this bell. So I just went to the Salvation Army after hospital staff told me to go there to sign up for their job program. And when I got there, the man working there said they don't have a job program, but I could fill out a job application. And he gave me this piece of paper after writing this number down. And he told me to call the number. At the bottom of the piece of paper, it says Claim Center 1. And when I called the number, the woman there said they don't have a job program, and that all their workers are volunteers. That means that they don't get paid. Well, what she said is all their workers are volunteers, and I assume that means that nobody there gets paid. But I just went there and filled out a job application expecting to get paid. So I think the Salvation is scamming everybody out of tons of money. This piece of paper says Claim Center 1, and there's a number. When I was at the grocery store this year, there was a Salvation Army guy ringing the bell, and tons of people were putting money into the red bucket. I used to drop off all my old stuff at the Salvation Army. My ex-husband drops all his stuff off at the Salvation Army. My grandma drops all her stuff off at the Salvation Army. And the Salvation Army trucks, the Salvation Army semis are always driving around. I just seen them yesterday, zipping through the neighborhoods on my way back from the Salvation Army. So I'm thinking that the Salvation Army is a big ripoff. I don't know who runs the Salvation Army, but they're not actually helping homeless people out. Because I just went there after hospital staff told me to go there to sign up for their job program. I want to know where the money is going from the red bucket. People think that money is going towards homeless people, helping homeless people out. If you're donating money to the Salvation Army, putting money into the red bucket, you assume that they're feeding homeless people. You assume that they're clothing homeless people. You assume that they are helping homeless people find jobs and are driving homeless people around. So I find this to be some sort of a scandal. At the bottom of the piece of paper the worker at the Salvation Army gave me, it says Claim Center 1. I honestly believe that they're ripping tons of people off. Why would anybody donate money to the Salvation Army at Christmas time and put money in the red bucket if they're not actually helping homeless people out? So I'm homeless. I went to St. Anthony's Hospital, and I went there because I was homeless and I wanted to talk to a social worker. They gave me a piece of paper with a list of things to do. One of them was to go to the Salvation Army and sign up for their job program. I told everybody about it. I told my grandmother about it. I told the social worker that was working at the abused women's shelter about it. I told everybody in my family about it. I wanted to I wanted to do what the how simple is it? Go down to the Salvation Army and sign up for the job program. It was on my paperwork. So I went down to the Salvation Army, and the employee working there said they don't have a job program. And he wrote this number down on this piece of paper, and at the bottom of the piece of paper it says Claim Center 1. So the point is, I think that they are ripping people off. I used to donate all my kids' toys to the Salvation Army, all my kids' old clothes, all my kids' old baby stuff. My grandmother donates all her stuff to the Salvation Army. My ex-husband donates all his stuff to the Salvation Army. At Christmas time, you always see a man ringing a bell, and people put money into the red bucket. they're putting money into the red bucket because they think that the Salvation Army helps homeless people out. They stand there, they ring the bell. Everybody I know knows that that is for homeless people. Everybody sticks money in thinking that that's to help homeless people out, as in help clothe them, help feed them, help, I just went to St. Anthony's. They said the Salvation Army has a job program. That would be a service you would think the Salvation Army has, since they do have a bell ringer, somebody ringing a bell. Am I right here? Doesn't everybody in America think the Salvation Army helps homeless people out? All during Christmas, you have the bell ringer. They're ringing the bell. Everybody's putting money into the red bucket. When I go to the Salvation Army, after social workers at St. Anthony's tell me to, so I can sign up for their job program. When I get there better be a job program. And they better not give me a piece of paper that says Claim Center 1. Is the Salvation Army ripping millions of people off? Maybe they actually have people that just drive around and kill homeless people. Years ago, some homeless guy was burned to death under a bridge. I don't know what's going on, but it clearly says Claim Center 1, and I just went to the grocery store with my grandma before Christmas, and we seen the Salvation Army guy ringing the bucket, and I personally saw people donating money to the Salvation Army, and it's December 29th. So I want to know where all those people's money went and what it was used for, because the Salvation Army I just went to doesn't have a job program. And I asked the employee if any of the Salvation Armies have a job program, and he said no. And I called the number he gave me, and that woman said all their employees are volunteers and that they don't even get paid. Claim Center 1.